In a press conference on May 30, 2025, so that's 5 days ago, President Donald Trump addressed inquiry regarding a possibility of granting a presidential pardon to Sean Diddy Combs, who is currently on trial for federal charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering. President Trump stated that no formal request for a pardon had been made, but acknowledged that discussion might be underway. He remarked, "Nobody asked, but I know people are thinking about it. I think some people have been very close to asking." And he said, "He used to like me a lot. I think when I ran for politics, that relationship bust up, from what I read." And he said, I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact." And I think he said something like, if I think that they're abusing the system again, because don't forget that Trump got all these things started the same time, a year ago, and so when they were doing the same thing to Trump. So maybe the same people who just thought they were in power and they were just deciding that we're doing the justice of God, we are deciding who's good, who's bad, etc. Maybe Trump might feel like, yo, they're doing the same thing to him. He has this domestic thing with his girl. That was not his wife. That was his girl. He had no wife, but he had his woman. Then he had his girls, and she was one of his girls. So, and now they're turning it into a whole racketeering and human trafficking thing. Like they are just exaggerating things. I'm not talking for me again. I'm talking for the way Trump might see it. And he might say, "Oh, they're doing him dirty like they did me. All right, listen, I'm just going to wait to see if they put him in jail. I'm going to wait. And then by the end of the year, let's say they give him 10 years or 20 years or life. I might be like, that might be like cool if black men, like they might, because for him, it's more about like, do you like me? Yeah, I can do something like, the same way I just commute Larry Hoover and such that are black people. I might do Puff. Puff is cool. Pardon Puff. Boom. Goodbye. All this shit for nothing. And as I was watching, Puff is yellow. I do agree. Puff is. Listen, I don't know if they're going to prove their case, because for now, all I see is, the first 2 weeks, it was all about his sex life with Cassie. Now there's starting to be more people, and I believe he's cooked. But I don't know. He's going to be the jury, and I'm not the jury. But listen, the more I look at this every morning when I turn on YouTube, the more I said to myself, this is the American circus in full display. This is the American circus in full display. You don't imagine the amount of money that is made during this thing. You have YouTube channels, you have TMZ, you have all the news media, you have websites, even us, we're talking about this. And all this is entertainment for people. All this is people fighting each other in the comments, the feminists yelling that he has to rot in jail, the men that are like, free Puff, she's a hoe. And people like me were just watching, and I'm just like, this is a circus. Listen, a few months ago, we were watching it in our estate, bombing kids, and everybody wanted to say something about it. And then you had some other things, and now all we talk about is one nigga who loves to see guys fuck his girl, and then once they all load on her, she takes all the sperm and she rub on his titties. And yeah, this is more important than millions of people dying in Congo, millions of people dying in the Middle East, war here, war there, Darfur, Sudan, COVID, all the lies about Pfizer and the European Union, and everybody is more interested in the circus than the real things. That's why when people tell me, hey, why don't you talk about such and such? You have a big platform. You are the voice of the people. I tell them, miss me with the bullshit. You guys are Congolese for 2 weeks, and then everybody goes back to the circus. You guys actually have never been in a war. You guys actually have never been in the middle of gunshots. You hear gunshots from your house, bombs exploding, etc. You never been there. You never have been in exile. You guys are Congolese when you are interested. The rest of the time, you have French documents. I was telling this to somebody who was pissing me off with that shit. I don't have my water. It is what it is. It is the American circus in full display. And listen, if he gets sentenced to however many years for whatever they say he did, and then Trump pardon him, I'm gonna laugh so much. I'm gonna be like, yeah, all this for that. Netflix. Exactly, Taku. They spend all their time messing up our minds with what is not important. I don't give a flying fuck